everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we will be starting a new series for a game called Dust and Elysian Tale. I don't know why they put the subtitle and Elysian Tale there, probably because you couldn't copyright the phrase just Dust. This is an RPG game, and we just played an RPG game called Child of Light, and I wasn't very happy with it. And that game was made by a big old team from Ubisoft Montreal. This game, as we can look quickly if we go to the credits, is made by Dean Dodrill. That's it. One person, really. There are voice actors, voice direction and casting, which there really wasn't much of that in Child of Light. There was some story writing assistance and all of that, but really this is the closest you probably would get in 2015 to a game that was made by just one person. It was programmed by one person, I would assume is the better way to say it. You could potentially make a game with just one person's input only, but we're already to the special thanks of the credits, and we'll just sit here to the end because there's no real reason. This game I've played before, and I can tell you it's gonna be more fun than the Child of Light. And it's going to, part of that is going to be because although this is an RPG, it doesn't have the classic RPG fight screen. We're not gonna run into enemies and then go to a second fight screen where we have team members doing that. It is actually more of an action game where we stay on the same screen. The worst thing I can say off at the beginning of this is that this game is a little bit weird. I'll say that. You play as a rabbit in a kind of ninja-ish hat and clothing with a cool sword. And all the characters you run into are animals. So there's a lot of animals running around, but if you can get past that, the story is really good, the gameplay is really good, and we're going to have a really fun time with it. Special thanks, hurry up game. We're looking at the credits at the beginning, which is probably a silly thing to do at the beginning, but please bear with it. And I'm just trying to prove a point here that this game really is made by, well, programmed by one person, and then it seems like they had some more teams come in after the fact and double check, localize, do all that. Alright, so the credits are somewhat arguing with me that really just one person did it, but honestly, you can't expect only one person to make a game in 2015, and there's the end of the credits. But this is about as close as you would ever get. And there was, I would say, at least 10 or 20 times as many people touched Child of Light. And this doesn't have the Uplay integration, so it already wins. One thing that is weird about this is that when you are in the mouse and keyboard thing mode, it shows all the settings. When you go to the Xbox 360 controller, it squishes everything down. I don't know why you would do that. And then we have this adjust HUD, so I could scale this up and just move it to there, and I could turn off enemy stats, which are in the middle. Right now it's kind of in the safe regions of it. I'll just leave everything at default for now, and then maybe we'll adjust the HUD back. And then for other settings, there really isn't much I can do here. Enable the speed triple if there's noticeable micro stuttering during gameplay. By default it's off. So you turn this on. This is just going to be a lower rate, and then I have portrait quality is going to be at high, Sound levels at 50, volumes at 50. There is, over on this other side, colorblind mode, an auto advance mode, which would just skip forward on talking, an auto heal mode, and an auto level up mode. So if you really didn't want to play this game much at all, you can turn some things on there that will really help you with the monotonous parts of this game. So that's all we really need to know. This is a very independent RPG that we're gonna start. So let's start. Dust and Elysian Tales supports autosaving. Okay. Please note that starting a new game or loading an existing game will overwrite the autosave slot. So we'll just save in slot 1. Ideal for casual and young players, those who simply wish to enjoy this sitting. Easy settings are enabled with no depth penalty. We can play on North for normal for a fair challenge. We can play on tough for people who are seasoned action players. We can play on hardcore. Simply choosing that demands respect. So if I choose hardcore, then I can demand respect and then go back to casual. We're gonna play on casual. I've adopted a policy of playing games on easy because for YouTube it just makes for a smoother experience, and then I don't have to record episodes where I die multiple times in a row on bosses. So casual it will be.
Our world has fallen to fade, its great works long since complete, its storied civilizations long since fallen to dust. The greatest legends of Elysian long since forgotten. What was once a land of promise has fallen to the ravages of war. And it was in this, our most desperate hour, that the greatest of Elysian tales began. The lone warrior stood against an army, slashing his way through all who opposed him. The mob stood no chance, and the soldier showed no mercy.
So this is who we're playing.
Despite his victories, his skills, his ruthlessness, the valiant soldier would perish on this day. Not to the mob, but to a single child.
Dust, dust, arise.
A talking sword? What are you?
Only that which you have summoned.
Summoned? How? For what purpose?
That I do not know. But we shall learn in time. Now rise and claim the Blade of Ahrah.
Stop! Stop right there!
And who is she?
Me? I'm Fidget, guardian of his sword.
Alright. What should I choose? You don't look like a guardian to me. Your name is Fidget. What is the sword anyway? I'd like to go with getting more information in case we only have one choice, so let's ask about the sword.
So, what is this sword?
I am the Blade of Ahrah, and you, Dust, are my fated sword bearer.
Yes, well, that's all great and everything, but I think it's about time I got this sword back to the clan.
I can't let you just leave with this sword, Fidget. Right now, it's the only thing that knows who I am. I don't even know how I got here.
Well, then you leave me no choice. I challenge you! The winner gets the sword!
So, Fidget's gonna be our faithful sidekick here. Let's see if we can talk this out.
Well,
Alright, you win. But don't think I'm leaving empty-handed. I'm coming with you. But, I really need the sword back when you're done doing, you know, whatever it is you're doing.
what exactly am I doing, Ahrah?
The answers you seek lie to the east. There is a path through the glade that leads down the mountainside, and from there you will find a village. That is your first step.
Then will you give me the sword? I really need to get it back home before anyone notices it's, gone.
When I find out just what it is I'm supposed to do with it, it's all yours, Fidget. Come on, let's go.
Okay. So, already, compared to Child of Light, we have a much better experience going on here. I do need to move the overlay though, don't I? It's too small and it's not going to look. So let's go to the options and do that. Just the fact that they have bothered to voice everything to make it easier to read and to follow along with the story is great. Yeah, that overlay looks a lot better when you adjust it that way. So it says goes to the east, so let's go to the west. I always follow the policy of going the wrong direction first. And we found the treasure key, which we can hit back and go to our inventory. Welcome to our inventory. We can assign healing items to a quick slot and use it in game with a left bump. Right now all I have is a key. We have your standard RPG health, attack, defense. Fidget is going to get her own special thing, a luck and a gold, which is cool. Once we level up, we're going to be able to put things into our attack ranges, and I think once you actually have pips to put in these slots, you can actually unlock new abilities. Otherwise, I'll just put everything in the attack because that's how I like to do things. Here's your quick slot item: armor, augments, right ring, pendant, left ring. Way more options than Child of Light. Here's our map. The worlds around here are mapped out a little bit oddly, more like Metroid than a usual RPG would be, but that's alright. I am going to get off referring to or comparing this game to Child of Light because in my mind, this game, from my own memory, I can tell you this is a better RPG to play. It's not a classic style, as we'll see in a second. I guess I don't want to jump down here, do I? Nope, can't jump that way, even if I wanted to. So I'm playing as like a bunny or a cat. I'm not sure which actually. I think it's bunny. But then there's little bunnies here. So explain that one to me. We are in the glade. The first world. When they start talking to each other, the fact that the characters get larger and is great, but the fact that they're voiced is just, I think, something that needs to be in all games, RPG games. I think you have to voice any game with that level of dialogue that like an RPG would have. Of course, you have the Skyrim situation where you add lots more dialogue by books, by having books and scrolls to read for those people who like to read, but you don't have the entire game have to be read, and you certainly don't rhyme. Oh, Child of Light and its rhyming drove me crazy. So this is your attack situation. attack mode. You stay in the game, you swing the sword, you attack something. We'll run into something to attack in a second.
What is it, Fidget?
Well, my kind has what you'd call a sixth sense. And there's something just ahead.
Fidget will alert you when a treasure is nearby. Click the right trigger to see the map. Okay, and that doesn't really help anything. To look at the map. They are specifically putting all the dialogue up front for us, so it can't get overwritten by other dialogue. But I wish you could scale it up a little bit. It is a little small. I can't find a way to jump down this tree. I would have seemed like that would have been possible. It probably is. Here we go. An orb. New ability. Dash acquired plus press left trigger or right trigger or use the right stick. Dashing uses energy that recovers. So that energy flaming bar, you can now drop down, hold down, and press A. Yes, I knew I could do that. Little chicken are health items. A healing item has been placed in our quick item slot. Press left bump to heal or back to manage your inventory. Mysterious wall chicken is what it's called. It's worth 300 gold, so I should try and save it. We just got a note, treasure, and here's your writing. I won't be reading any of that, any dialogue, because it's kind of annoying for people to sit here and listen to me reading things. I'll only read things unless I think it really needs
We
it.
found a locked chest.
Well, what are you waiting for? Smash it open.
That would be unwise, Dust. These chests are protected by arcane locks from the last era, and are well beyond my capabilities.
I suppose we'll need a key then.
Magical chest. That is something to think about, is why you can't smash open other things. Fortunately, we found that key before. So X, A, B to unlock. It is a little bit of a quick time event, which is great to throw in a secondary system. Let's see, we have some other things that will increase our health. I would probably want the lowest things to be equipped right now, and it seems we'll eventually get an ability to get down there. I have 80 health, so right now restoring 20 is significant. Later on, when enemies can do hundreds of damage, it won't be significant. Ah, deer! I'm running with the deer. Bad guys.
Calm yourself, Fidget. Dust. Focus. Remember what you've learned thus far.
No! Mash the buttons!
I haven't learned anything as far as swinging the sword, except for at the intro.
Nobody said anything about monsters.
Strange. Where did I learn these skills?
You wield the Blade of Ahrah, and with it, all the skills imbued therein.
Hello? Monsters?
Is that why I summoned you? To control this power?
It is unlikely, Dust, that I would awaken from my slumber for such selfish reasons. There is a village beyond these woods. Perhaps finding it will aid in restoring your memories.
And then we'll be in the clear, right? No more monsters?
Fidget, I think things are about to get a whole lot worse.
And to think, this morning started off so well. At least take these feeble fruits. Something tells me you're gonna need them.
So all the battles stay on the main screen. Run through the save monument to auto-save your progress. Good. Nice way. We could, of course, press up to save, and if there were any other places to teleport, we would do that. We don't really have a reason to save, but we'll do it anyways. Now, looking at the map, we know that somewhere on the screen to the left is a way further down. But the screens, the squares on the map, actually cover quite a long section. And almost certainly I need some new skill to proceed downward. From whence it came, hit XXXX. Alright. So in RPGs, you are gonna just fight multiple enemies to grind. This way, XX, XXYY. They are just all kind of lined up here. I can just go down the line. As long as they don't get behind me or hurt me, I can. So that was about 20 battles in probably a minute at most. Whereas a standard RPG, we would have gone to a different battle screen for every single character on the map. We would have had to take turns. The game would have taught us these actions faster. I can knock people up in the air. Each and every single move in the standard RPG, I would have had to select it from multiple selections instead of just pressing controls. This is what RPGs should be these days. Oh, you've got to really do something special with the old style if you're going to convince me to like and play that. Play those old style ones. They're very archaic, if that's the right term. Just old. Old way of doing it. Too slow. New ability.
Hold here, Dust. You have unlocked a new ability. Bear witness to the dust storm.
Obviously, this is just a tutorial mode.
I like it.
Hold the secondary attack to perform the dust storm. But beware, skilled as you may be, you cannot maintain the storm for long without hurting yourself.
In that case, maybe I can help. If you press the super ballistic fidget action button of power, I'll perform an attack so spectacularly awesome that it'll produce emotions you didn't even know existed. Please contain yourselves as I demonstrate.
That was, very pretty.
Well, maybe I'll just keep the rest of my repertoire to myself.
I'm sorry, Fidget. I'm sure it'll come in handy somehow.
Actually, Dust, between the three of us, this could be quite useful. The dust storm can manipulate Fidget's projectile into a more powerful attack. Observe.
Wow! Oh, by the way, every time I use my power, it'll use up a bit of energy meter. You can recharge the meter with melee combos.
Yes, Dust. Between your combos and Fidget's own powers, you can achieve a higher hit chain, which will yield bonus experience after each battle. However, if you are struck by an enemy, the chain will be broken, and you will lose your bonus experience.
Alright, I think I understand.
If this is all too much for you, you can check out the help screen via the pause menu.
Thanks, Fidget. I'll take a look if I'm ever in trouble.
What's funny is really this game acts like it's for little kids, like, but I kind of feel the story gets a little dark by the end of it. Notice I'm glowing red there. That's to show I can't keep on just spinning the dust storm without hurting myself. Eventually it will just hit me. Watch. It's getting redder and redder. Watch my health at 80 over 80. Well, actually it doesn't seem like it is going to hurt me any on easy. It's just vibrating my controller like crazy. So, what's interesting here is I also covered a game just recently called DMC Devil May Cry that is all about being very stylish and getting combos and improving your score in fights. And so it's weird that the combination of the two have kind of been met. The main difference in DMC is that while it does have a good story, its world layout is literally just a run from point A to point B, and it only has like 20 missions in the entire game that are all good, just super short and not anywhere near the length you would usually see in something you would call an RPG. Of course, I need to do combos and not just sit here and use Fidget's ability in the dust storm. Really, you want to more focus on things like that and then start comboing it out. Dust storm is pretty good when you're surrounded from both directions. Now we're seeing some blue on the screen, which probably means I'm missing some kind of collectible or something. Or the blue means that there's a quick save. And we can't access the world map yet, so we can't teleport back to the beginning. This of course is just a tutorial area, so I don't see a real reason why we'd ever come back here. Except for that one area we couldn't access, that was maybe a good reason. Your experience is indicated by the blue bar, leveled up by killing enemies. I just did. So I'm at level 1 now, which is great. They really programmed that. Oops. Be careful, you will accidentally knock yourself out of an area if you kill somebody too close to the edge. Watch that number get bigger and bigger. I'm taking damage, oh no, I can either evade or I could decide to eat the... Looks like we got something. Getting all kinds of collectibles. I missed some gold there. Here's another note. I'm gonna try to play pretty thoroughly in this game. I like to play thoroughly in games. I don't know if I can push forward through that area or if I'm supposed to come up here. Well, this area looks more secretive, so let's push forward. Ah, yes, a key. That's all that was here, is just a windy way. My health went back up, probably because I leveled up. So let's look at the character screen. I have a maximum health that went up, and apparently it did that by default for the first time. I think eventually you will get to pick, unless I set in the menu options not to do that, and I don't know why I would have done that. But notice we are at 180 for one level. What's that? Now, if you don't really focus on a group and you start knocking people back and forth, you could do about the worst possible in this by having them jump around. And then if you're focusing over here, you might not notice that these guys are over here. And that kind of indicates it might be better to just do Fidget's attack, because it keeps them from getting knocked away. So let's keep these combos going. I believe that's the last guy. Undoubtedly, I bet there's some stuff I missed. But before we wrap up today, even though we didn't do that much, we get the indication there's more treasure here. And I want to get to this cutscene.
It's really beautiful up here.
Yeah. So, any idea where we are?
I was maybe hoping you could tell me.
Oh, silly me. I seem to have dropped all my detailed maps and navigational equipment chasing after a crazy flying sword.
I'm sorry I got you mixed up in this, Fidget.
Well, you should be. Taking my sword, getting me in trouble.
You know, now that I think about it, this isn't the first time I've seen this view. I've stood here before, in this very spot.
Then perhaps you recognize the village at the base of these cliffs?
It's hard to make out from here. We'll need to drop down to the valley floor if we want to get any closer.
Very well. Proceed as you wish, Dust.
A quest has been updated, yay. So, there's a village in the distance, that's where we're gonna get to. And that's where we're gonna end this recording. I know we spent a lot at the front there looking at the credits and everything, which was really a silly thing to do. We won't be doing any more of that. We will start right here back with next recording. I end all my episodes the same way. I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos, because all of that stuff helps me. If you want to support me, you can click on my name Rydo. That takes you to my main YouTube page. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. If you click that and make a donation, it would be very much appreciated. And also on my main YouTube page is a playlist tab where you can go watch other series that I've covered, for example Child of Light or DMC Devil May Cry, both of which should be coming out somewhere sometime about now or already been released. So go check out those, go check out all the other games I've covered, because I have covered a lot. Also, I have down below in the description links to Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Google+, Steam, and Battle.net, and I ask everybody to follow and friend me on all those services. A lot of those services get posts of right when new episodes are out. I release new episodes every Monday through Friday, but if you want to see them the second they're out, you have to follow me on either Twitter, Facebook, or Google+, or Tumblr. Yeah. Sadly, I can't post the videos automatically to Steam or Battle.net, which are more of friend services, but I do want friends on those services also. Yeah. And that is about it for this episode. So I always like to wrap up the same way. I say thank you for watching and have a good evening. So, thank you for watching and have a good evening.